How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Diamond Mount channel, quite possibly the most value-packed instructional jewelry making channel on all of YouTube. And no, I'm not joking. Now this leaf ring, it's kind of easy because it's just so forgiving on your accuracies and what you're doing. I mean, you can literally like sweat the surface by getting it too hot when you're soldering on accident, and it'll just look more like a tree because just the bobbly surface will just be a benefit to making it look more like an organic, natural thing. Yeah, the branches can just weave in and out, doesn't matter if they're close or far apart. Can't really go too far wrong. Like I said in the last video, the only way you can go wrong is to end up with just a wobbly looking bit of silver rather than an actual branch looking thing. Okay, so let's get into it. Again, battling against the clock as usual on my very limited time I've got to do these videos. I've milled out this bit of metal, 2.1, 2.4. Right, yeah, about 2 mil, a little bit more, no problem. That's square now. Obviously tree branches are not square or have 4 sides, so I'm just gonna roughly, just that kind of middle section that's gonna go around the back of the finger. I'm just gonna take the corners off a bit and do it really roughly and not really caring, because that's the beauty of making this ring. You've really got to be careful. So I'll take that corner off, take that corner off, so a nice coarse file, take that corner off. You should have a section in the middle. It's kind of wobbly and round. Pull that out a little bit more. Okay, so you can see I've got that now roundy in the middle. Okay, what do we do next? Now I'm going to flatten these ends through the mills. Just like down half. Just give it a squeeze, see how you feel. Just make the ring by feel. Like the ring will kind of tell you what needs to be done as you're holding it and looking at it. Do both sides. A little bit more. I just hammered mine flat and straight, and then while it's hard now, take advantage of that hardness by before you anneal it, we're going to saw down the middle, so we're going to split those ends in 2, so we're just sawing a line down the middle. Just basically cutting down where it's flat. Right, now, so you've got a split there and a split there. Get a knife. I always keep a little knife on my bench. It's a handy little tool for this kind of thing. Yeah, just stick it in there and then split them open. Ta-da! Do both sides. I'm kind of thinking one end's going to be different lengths to the other one. You don't want them all perfectly even. So one will be shorter than the other side, and then one end is going to be shorter than the other end. I think it's going to help it look more real when it's wrapped around the finger, and then we're going to bend them about to look very branchy. So at the moment, I've got that. Now, take a file, any old file, and like this was square and we rounded it off. These are square, so now rounding these off individually. Taking the corners off. Okay, I've gone round with a big file, just going into the V, got my safety back. Just take that corner off going into the V. Again, not really being careful. And now you may anneal it. Okay, just a thought while I annealed that. When I was an apprentice, I asked the guy teaching me if annealing metal, after you've annealed metal, is it easier to saw and file afterwards? And he said no, it doesn't make any difference. But after a few years experience, I think it does. It makes sense. If the metal's softer, you're going to cut through it easier, or you're going to bend it and file it. It's going to change the shape of it much easier. And I think the difference is very minimal, but I'm sure I can feel a difference. So just like we benefited from the hardness of the metal when we were filing the thinner parts up and they weren't bending all out of shape on us because we had the nice stiffness of the metal there. Now we can, after annealing, now we can benefit from the softness of the metal when we're filing up the tree branch detail on this thicker section, because we're going to be twisting it about a little bit as well. So having the metal softer now is a benefit. Okay, so just thinking about what I'm going to do with it looking like a branch in mind, I'm just going to thin it out a little bit there and there under the V, and then let it thicken up a little bit towards the back. And then no matter what side of the ring you look at, it's going to look like a tree branch where it goes thicker and then sort of slightly thinner, tapering off towards the ends of them. So quite minor adjustments, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to thin it out there and there, just under the V's. I'm just going to do it with the corner of my half-round file. I just ordered a new one of these. I've ordered a few new tools, which I'm excited to get because I've battled on with these worn-out things for way too long. I know I'm editing this video, bear in mind how quickly I'm progressing with the ring. It's not really a big job. And that'll do. Again, if you do a little bit more one side than the other, then that's beneficial to make it look more realistic. The next step I'm going to do is put a little kink in it. Again, don't think too much, just do it by feel. It's just whatever you want. There you go. Should I do all the kinks? Let's do one at a time. So that, rather than that looking like I've just bent it, which I have, I know, but we've got to hide that now. I'm just going to file it up a bit jagged. I might put a little edge in there. Right, now take a step back, have a look at it, consider how much space you've got now to be doing this kind of thing. I'm gonna, you don't want that to end up there and that to end up there, so it's got to end up kind of in a line. So I might kink that back quite close, and then less of an angle going down, and then kink it that way. So kind of an S shape. I'm doing two kinks. The first one's going to be quite close to this. Ugh, it's quite hard. What's going on? May have gone a bit over the top there. Straighten that out a bit. There you go, that'll do. Good. So I've done that. Do what you want. I've done that. And then again, just choose a spot further up. Put another little kinky bit in it. Okay, fast forward a few minutes, you can see it's just a wobbly, kinky bit in the middle now. Now I've got this length kind of untouched, so I'm not going to do any like steps like I did that one. I'm just going to just wobble it up a little bit thinner, a little bit thicker, a little bit thinner, thicker, angles this way, that way. And I'm not trying to keep it kind of flat because this is going to be a ring, remember. I don't want it bobbing up and down because then it will never go round. It's not the end of the world on the ring like this, but it makes it difficult to judge the size. If you're making it for someone, you want to be able to confidently give them the size they ask for. I've got too many ideas for this channel, not enough time. I'm thinking of trying to organise a month off work so I can just bang out a load of videos. Partly as well, I'm feeling the need to show off what I'm capable of, and I still haven't really scratched the surface of it. So it'd be cool to get some videos making some like proper stuff, because high street jewellers can't really do things that I can do, so it'd be nice to get it on video, like how proper nice jewellery is made. Okay, this bit of metal is far too long, by the way, as you may have already thought. So it might be cutting one side right down. Might even pull that V back a little bit if the length is a problem. But I want at least one of these really long. So that's what I mean by feeling my way, like just doing what I feel. Not really thinking too much ahead, just kind of doing it as I get to that stage. But certainly got plenty of length to play with there, and opportunity for doing a lot of variations of branch design, whatever you feel like. Not necessary to get it through nice and neatly done through the mills. I'm just going to hammer. I chose one. I'm just going to hammer it flat now. Not too much. Obviously, you need a bit of thickness so it's got some strength. Okay, that'll do. So now I'm going to leave that nice and hard and then cut up along the centre again. Same again, maybe a bit more tricky this time. Where's my pliers? Wait a sec, shall I go all the way down? Yeah, let's go nearly all the way down. Maybe I should start thinking ahead a little bit more. Okay, that'll do. Yeah. Unfortunately, I hammered it flat, but certainly not too far. So even though I hammered that flat, I can round it off again. It's got to look thinner anyway. Then I can split that open. Look at that. I need to round them off again somehow. You can do it with needle files. I'm not gonna because I've got these things. And I haven't even begun to think about how these branches are going to look and how I'm going to wrap around each other. I'm giving myself options and giving myself ability for a lot of options by having a lot of length and a lot of branchiness going on. Alright, something like that. What I'm going to do is sharpen, while this is all straight, I'm going to sharpen it towards the ends, just because I think that's how it should look. I mean, I might end up cutting these right back anyway. Yeah, maybe I'll wait. Yeah, let me wait until I see what length I need, and then I'll sharpen them. Okay, that'll do. Let's wrap it up. This bit of metal is a melt-up, so melt-ups tend to go really hard quite quickly. So, yeah, just kinking that centre bit, the little that I did, has made it gone quite hard again. Let's see if I can get the end bits without melting anything. Alrighty. Now do silver, basically, just slightly going cherry red is annealed. Other metals, no. Platinum, like, get it pretty much white hot to properly anneal it. Let's turn it up into a ring. Choose one side or the other. One side probably more lumpy, more detailed, should be the outside. So this is going to be my inside, and up and down, that straight, not like that. We're going to turn it into a ring. Starting there, don't ask me why. And no, it hasn't been in the acid because I can't be bothered. So looky. Right, this is interesting. Okay, right. Don't do that. Okay, I'm doing one side, like wrapped it up into a circle, and then you've got a left side and a right side. So I'll continue going round, and then I'll have a think about what I'll do with these branches. So, been looking at it, thinking about it. There's just way too much length. I was kind of thinking I can wrap the branches around the ring all the way, so there's a kind of detail going all the way around it. Don't like that idea now I'm holding it in my hand. So what I'm going to do is, I'm leaving that end, you know where we did split the branch twice. That end I quite like, that's useful, but this one is too long. So I'm going to open it up a bit, and I'm going to split. Oh, let me show you closer. Oh, I didn't show you any leaves yet. Oh. I'm holding this under my peg and pushing it up. I don't know if that's a technique you've considered before. Alright, okay, let's see what we can do now. So that's dramatically shortened the band, and we'll make it a bit more of an elegant thing. Alright, it's immediately making a lot more sense to me now. Cut that one back, and I've just been buzzing over it to make it look a bit more branchy, which I'll do more of. But I'm thinking now I can solder the left side of that one to the left side of this one, so the opposites, yeah. Alright, so I've got that side soldering onto that side. I'll line them up nicely, get a nice join so it's strong as possible, and then possibly over solder it a little bit, just because I think that's going to help. If there's a lump there, it's going to help it look a bit more organic-y. And then I'll have a look and I'll have a think about what I'm gonna do with the other branches. Tell you what, my soldering skills with this are just as good as they were with proper soldering equipment. This is no hindrance whatsoever. I was really annoyed when I first moved to Japan that I couldn't get proper soldering equipment, so this was just kind of temporary until we figured out what to do. This is not holding me back at all. Like, I'm doing like very delicate little solders right next to very thin bits of silver wire. It's fine. This is what I've got now, soldered up those two ends. So I've got one bit sticking out one side and then two thinner bits sticking out the other side, and these are good for making branches. So now, with the spacing and the fact they're straight, they are suitable for cleaning up and making look a bit more sticky, tree branchy and real. So let's do that now before we start tweaking it and really connecting everything up properly. Again, you can totally do this with needle files, but if you've got any kind of like cutter wheel, maybe have a go with that as well. I like them as they cut. We haven't got to push hard, so that's quite good for working on delicate things. Just hiding any kind of look of being sawn, any like saw teeth marks or any like super straight lines. Again, looking very familiar to that realistic tree branch video I did recently. All the techniques I learnt doing that as an experiment, I'm using to make this ring. And also, very different to my very first mock-up ring I made, which was in the title picture. This was a ring I made just to show a customer who wants a leaf ring but couldn't really decide. So just doing drawings wasn't helping her make a decision, so I thought I'd just make something very quickly. This is what I come up with. And this has given birth to me learning how to do proper branches and experimenting a lot with lots of different styles of leaves. So I kind of milked it really, but I've learned a lot from playing with it and coming up with new ideas. So I get a kick out of that. I learned something. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm a better jeweler than I was last week. Always learning, it's all part of the fun. You should always be a student, not just jewellery, just everything in life. And if you reach the top of a class in something, change somehow and get to the bottom of a class at the next level. That's what I did with martial arts. I did like 5-6 years Taekwondo, had my black belt, but really wanted to improve my sparring because that's what I enjoyed the most. So I ended up starting kickboxing class as well as Taekwondo, and I thought I was good because I was always sparring against people just sort of in my class and the local clubs, But they were also like me, not really sparring all the time. And then when I set foot in a kickboxing class where all they did was sparring, I really found out the hard way that wasn't good at all. I just thought I was because of the people I was around telling me I was good, and weren't at my level even there. But yeah, the kickboxing class, they really showed me what level I was at. And it was exciting. It's like, this is great. Like, I was at the bottom of the class again, and I could really, really learn a lot. I ended up quitting Taekwondo because I enjoyed the kickboxing so much more. And I went on to compete in tournaments and stuff, and ended up on the team, which was great. Just come from enthusiasm to learn more. Ended up taking me new places in life. Right, I've got an idea. Just same kind of thing, like that side joined onto the opposite side. I'm now thinking maybe the outer one, maybe the inner one's more suitable. Join that one onto that one, crossing over nicely. It's a shame that's joins there. Should I split that back a bit more? Okay, yes, split that back a bit more. Open that up, clean it up a bit. Get rid of my saw, any evidence of it being sawn. Right, so I chose my length. I want those. I'm just going to pull these away from that branch they're about to cross over. So I've got space, make sure it doesn't stick in my thumb. And I'm going to just phrase. Phrase that in the top. Just so they got something to bite into. It'll be a nice strong join. So I've joined those on, soldered them on quite badly. This one, I've got a lot of length there, so there's a bit of an opportunity. I could go down through there and then up and then join it on there, might be quite nice, and then I'll have 3 kind of loops, plus that one, 4 kind of loops. Or just hook it round, that's what I initially started thinking, just solder it there. I think I might do that, because after this we're going to add leaves, so I almost think being less complicated is better at this stage. Yeah, or I could just join it on there. No, I'm going to join it on. Yeah, I'm going to crinkle it up a little bit, make it look a bit more like a tree branch, and then I'm just going to maybe sink it down into that branch and then join it on there. I'm going to rough this up a bit more. It's pretty thin, but it needs roughing up. Right, put the groove in there. It's going to shorten it a bit more. Put a little groove in the end. So it can touch on that branch nicey. Go on, get in your groove. There we go. So if I pinch that there, that holds it down and then holds it in the correct length. So I've got two places to join it on now. This is what I now have. That's a good base for putting leaves on and taking the realisticness or realism to a next level. I'm really not in a position to be hosting any kind of show. My My vocabulary is not very good. Right. I'm just going to go around it, tidying up. I don't like how thick the bottom of the band is compared to the top, so I might go around it and thin it all off a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So yeah, basically just looking over it, just tidying up little bits, just touching it here and there. Like, I don't like, well, that wasn't good. I don't like how straight that section is, so I'm going to hack into that a little bit. Take the thickness out of the band, and then it's ready to put the leaves on. Alright, so this is as far as I'm taking it on this video. Yeah, I'm going to hack into it a little bit more, make the branches a little bit more real. Taking the thickness out of the bands, I don't like how thick that is compared to the top half. So next time you see it, it's going to be a bit more worked on, not hugely different. So it was meant to be a 2-part video, but I guess I'm going to have to change it to a 3-part video doing a leaf ring. Part 1 was doing a few variations of the leaves. Part 2 is this, with concentrating on doing the band. And then part 3 will be doing a few more variations of leaves more suitable for this band. And then we'll put them on, and then, yeah. And then we'll have a complete leaf ring, and I can move on in my life and leave this leaf ring alone. And one thing I think I should do is for my next full instructional video, I should do some proper bit of jewellery, because I've had over 100 new subscribers in the last month, and if they're checking out my latest videos, they're just gonna think I talk about myself as being a really good jeweller, but actually all I do is make wobbly bits of silver. So I need to kind of, just for my own ego's sake, I just need a bit of confirmation for new subscribers that I am actually a real jeweller and I don't just bend bits of silver around. So thanks for watching. I hope this information or something in this was useful to you. If you're not making exactly that, at least you can take away some ideas and do something, whatever you want to do with it. If you haven't done so already, hit like and subscribe. Share this video, hit the notification bell to be notified of part 3, this video, coming soon, hopefully not too long. And yeah, see you next time. Thanks, bye.